Viewers kept coming back to L2, the second coin out of the Limited Woolworth roll. It looks good, and I understand why it caught all that attention. But this is an 1882 San Francisco Morgan dollar, and that makes the grading math much harder. The question is not whether this coin is attractive. The question is whether the coin can reach the grade level where certification actually changes the economics. Now, L7 from the limited roll was the stronger coin from the Woolworth comparison. L2 was different. L2 was the coin the viewers noticed because it had visual pull. And that's why L2 works as a viewer coin. The full coin has visual appeal. It has enough luster movement and presence to catch attention. But eye appeal is only the first read. For an 82S, nice is not enough. Now the test gets stricter. I'm checking whether the surface supports the look. On a common 82S, the cheek, the open fields, the hair, the cap, and the face matter, because those are the areas that can quietly cap the grade. Higher magnification is only a confirmation layer. The real question is whether this coin has a credible path to the grade it needs to justify submission. Here is the submission math. Because this is an 82S, the coin has to do more than look nice. For this date and mint, MS65 is the floor. It is not the finish line. If this coin comes back MS62, 63, or 64, that is not a win. The market range is too tight, and the grading costs will eat up the reason for submitting. At those grades, this coin is probably better kept raw. MS65 is the decision point. That is where the coin can start to make sense, but it's still not automatic. If it's just an ordinary MS65, the spread may still be thin. In order to justify the submission, I want either a strong premium look like toning, or a reason to believe the grade ceiling may be higher. Now, MS66 is where the submission case becomes much stronger. That's where the market starts to notice the coin in a very different way. But I can't build the decision on hope. The surface has to make that outcome realistic. MS67, that's where the top of the market starts to appear. But that's not the grade I build the business decision around. For this coin, the practical question is whether MS66 is realistic or whether this is simply a nice raw coin. And the grading fee is only part of the cost. You have shipping, insurance, time, and the risk that the coin does not grade where it needs to justify the cost of submission. That is why a common date Morgan can be very attractive and still fail the submission math. My working decision on L2 is I'll hold this or keep it as a raw premium candidate. Viewers like the coin, and I understand why. But for an 82S, I don't want to pay the grading costs unless the surface supports a real MS66 case, or at least a previous Mint State 65 case. And this is the bigger lesson from L2. Eye appeal matters. Viewer attention matters. But common date submission math is unforgiving. For an 82S, MS65 is the floor, not the finish line. If you want the full story and the submission board behind these Woolworth coins, watch the Woolworth grading test next.